St George Illawarra were seething after throwing 2 competition points away in Canberra the previous Monday, and with their captain Ben Hornby back in the number 7 jersey, that spelt double trouble for a South Sydney side who are hanging on to finals contention by the skin of their teeth. Furthermore, the Rabbitohs hadn't won in Wollongong for over 2 decades, and the portents were there from the outset that this could be a difficult afternoon for them.
Morris steps, goes in and puts the ball down.
After linking up with Matt Cooper in old-fashioned centre style on the left, Mark Gasnier returned to the other side and serviced Jason Nightingale.
Goes to Gasnier away to Nightingale. If the left side can do it, so can the right side. Nightingale has scored for the Dragons.
The Rabbitohs' awful start was compounded by fundamental mistakes like this from the experienced Reece Wesser, which allowed Saints to get their all-representative backline set from the scrum that followed.
Here's the Dragons, Gasnier floating from right side, left side, Darius Boyd, then to Matt Cooper. Cooper's gone across again.
Another Souths mistake, and it was turning very ugly as the champions continued carving them up.
Here comes try number 4.
Nightingale's second of the day had the Dragons going at better than a point per minute. However, the rest of their first half showing was well below their high standards. And the only other try of the term came from the embarrassed Bunnies.
Well, that doesn't happen against the Dragons very often.
Wesser's contribution ensured that Souths wouldn't be kept pointless twice in the same season by the Dragons, with the half-time scoreline reading 20-6. 4 minutes into the second stanza, the red and greens went over again.
Plays it 3 metres out and Pete throws the dummy and scores.
Souths were starting to believe that they could replicate what the Raiders did to a seemingly disinterested Dragons outfit.
He puts the kick across towards Farrell. Farrell scores. Came down with the ball right on the chalk.
The Premiers were looking vulnerable, while the Rabbitohs were typically Jekyll and Hyde-like.
Farrell's after it again. The ball is there for him. He's got a hand on it, Farrell. He's got another try here, Farrell.
Just like St George Illawarra had peeled off 4 tries in 18 minutes, Souths had done exactly the same. Incredibly, they now had the edge, and they clung to it until the red and whites returned to their venomous left with 7 to go.
Gets it to Cooper. Cooper scores! Cooper scores for his second time. Well, they've had to put their foot right on the pedal. They're in top gear to get out of this.
Most were thinking that South's comeback had been snuffed out, but the brave Bunnies had other ideas. Sando found touch on the seaside with his kick-off, and the Dragons went to water a few tackles later.
Sando gives it on, Merritt gets it out, Dylan Farrell for 3! He scored! Dylan Farrell gets a trifecta!
For all intents and purposes, that was the match winner. Then John Sarton and Nathan Merritt capped it off beautifully in the final 10 seconds.
Merritt puts the icing on the John Lang cake this afternoon.
That has to rate as one of the most stunning revivals in modern rugby league. South's triumphant 34-24 after orchestrating a 30-point turnaround that had to be seen to be believed. David Rollins, Big Pond Sport.